Hi guys, Misa here. As some of you might have heard, I have received my permanent vacation from NCSoft for using a third-party program to run Spectral Shrine, even though I ran it by hand and hundreds watched me do it on stream. That's okay, I'm not going to bother with more appeals. I have no regrets and no unfinished business. It is now time to close the BNS chapter of my life. I would like to thank NC for making Blade and Soul and for bringing it to the West. I had so many wonderful memories over the past 6 years. This is a story of those 6 years. This is the story of my BNS life. I started playing BNS on the Taiwan server in January 2015. Back then, I was a complete noob. I didn't know what a CC was and I didn't know Efro existed. But I had fun with 200 ping and spent quite a bit of money. In fact, more than I did on NA. I quit BNS Taiwan in October 2015 when CBT was open for BNS NA. It was simply a point of no return once I experienced 90 ping anti-cancel. I used the weekends where CBTs were open to level every available class to 45 and tried tanking Blackworm with most of them. Those were also the first videos on this channel. I joined my first clan, Zenith, which consisted mostly of people who played in other regions and aimed to be the best on NA. We patiently waited for the head start on January 15, 2016. That night was the first all-nighter I ever pulled in my life. We raced to 45 in 16 hours, and so began my journey. Sadly, Zenith didn't last long. A group of people led by Pomf and Romeo went on to make their own clan. I remained clanless for a while until the Silver Frost update when my dual partner Take It Easy and I joined my second clan, Queen Xia. I met Tap Sambong and Koli there, and soon after, the four of us made our own clan, Alone in the Dark. The clan name was chosen because we were the first few people that had the 1-minute kill on Mushin Darkness. Soloing Yeti was the biggest achievement of the time. The first to achieve it on the server was Yunhee, whom I actually met back in BNS Taiwan. Soon after reconnecting with him, we all moved to Gentle Breeze, where I stayed for the next 3.5 years. Gentle Breeze started as a Taiwanese clan, but evolved to include a mixture of both English and Chinese-speaking people. I met Curry, Tifa, Wanga, Gua, Asuka, and many others. It was also the first time in 10 years that I spoke Chinese to people outside of my family. Fire BMs were quite strong at the time, with me tanking and Asuka going in soul separation first at the dreaded 26% phase on Raven King. We were one of the first clans on the server to clear BT. However, this was when BNS started losing people. Even I left for 3 months as I started my new job. By the time BT rolled around in August 2017, we had to absorb some people from other clans to form our 24-man roster. This was when I met people like Frostfired and Ah. We came up with the Great Thrall Cheese. We beat the level 55 SK and cleared Hive Queen in 2 days. I became close friends with Suli. We ended up dueling most of the content for the next half year until TT came along in May 2018. TT was probably the most enjoyable content for me. We did the 8 days strat to not do any mech after the first round. We did the no math strat where I kept resetting the boss with range checks. Our crowning moment of achievement was clearing boss 4 before the heart update. The DPS requirement was insane. But thanks to our Ice FM Yin Young, we were able to devise a strat with carefully planned routes to squeeze in as much DPS as possible. Some of these routes lasted 10 to 15 seconds. I remember spending almost 6 hours a day working on my boss rotation sheet with all the precise route timings. It was very nerve-wracking, but it was the most fun I ever had in BNS. The next big update was the introduction of Challenge Mode. I met Tusa and his Korean crew. Sadly, we lost DST to Question and Company, and we didn't try very hard in BC. Tusa lost interest in PvE, and I was getting ready to go back to China for a month. Awakening also came during this time. Lightning BM became more popular. It had more DPS and fire, and it was less ping dependent. I made a video explaining some of the min-maxes of Lightning BM, and not surprisingly, it turned out to be one of my most liked videos. The 4th raid, ET, came right as I returned from China in May 2019. ET was relatively easy compared to previous raids. Every boss was cleared in 6 hours. Also released with the final boss was Spectral BM. It was brain dead easy to play and did super high DPS. The dominance of this boring playstyle unfortunately lasted for more than 2 years until the recent UE4 update in September 2021. CM fueled my fire for the next year and a half. I formed my super teams of max gear players when I came back and took rank 1 almost every week from WC all the way to HOI. Special thanks to Darksma for the rivalry that pushed us to our limits and even taking some rank 1 titles from us. The game kept losing players though during this time. Big JJ left after WC, Curry, Aihana, and Yosio left after CC. At this point, pretty much everyone from Gentle Breeze had left the game too. I went to join Phantom Moon for a while for the clan bonus during Halloween, and in January 2020, I packed my bags for the last time and joined my CM teammates Minister and Kato in Minerva. The next update to come was the IA raid in May 2020. Minerva created a roster consisting of 12 max or nearly max geared players that can all play their classes to the fullest. We were also dedicated enough to basically raid until we cleared every day. We were the only group that cleared Boss 2 in the first week. It was a very different fight compared to anything the player base was used to. My Boss 3 video though is surprisingly my most liked. It was also at this point that I started selling dungeon runs and started making a lot of gold. Hunter's Refuge injected a lot of gold to the PvP people in Hamra, and a lot of them went and bought runs from me. Then I also started selling to the Chinese community, most notably Kato and Cord Raid. With the world under COVID lockdowns, I was stacking up gold and Ncoin. Kato, Shingo, and Whitegive left the game after SP, and we got Vexa, Mini Loki, and Romeo. With Cord Raid and Minister, we took rank 1 every week through HH and NS. I came up with my snake rotation for Phantom Sin near the end of NS, but our Sin Romeo left the game shortly after, and Darksma got his perma vacation. Modding and XMLs became more and more widespread. Auto combat became usable everywhere with Pilaw's Sanguine and Tonic's multi-tool. Pretty much everyone abused auto combat to farm experience in Moon Refuge. I got my Hongmoon 34 and 35 this way. A lot of people were banned for a few days. Somehow, I came out unscathed. The good side of modding was Tonic's FPS booster, along with the text removals. They improved game performance tremendously, especially in the last BM raid. As usual, Minerva made a max gear roster and we powered our way through it. But it was at that point that I felt BNS was near its end with me. I was selling runs and making an unreasonable amount of gold every day. I wanted to stop playing, but like any addiction, it was too hard. I tried to break all sorts of rules hoping to get banned. I used speed hacks to farm SSP in front of everyone. I went back to Moon Refuge to farm XP. I did get banned for 4 days for what I think was Moon Refuge farm, But the gold kept coming in. I was making 100,000 gold per day at some point. How can anyone stop with this? Well, it turned out that all I needed was Cordraid and Vexa quitting. I suddenly lost all my motivation. All I did every day was just selling runs to Cordraid and competing with Vexa for BNS life scores. Of course, I had other buyers at the time, but it felt meaningless. The only thing I still enjoyed was running 6 clients and trying to maximize farming efficiency. But I knew I couldn't do that anymore with the 64-bit clients of UE4, so after the BM raid on June 16, 2021, I stopped logging in. Finally, the UE4 days of September 2021. Well, I said UE4, but I didn't come back for that. I only came back to experience a reworked Lightning BM. I had a lot of fun with it. I made a 180-degree turning script so chaining flash steps became easier. I played with Hora's Hello Kitty mod and made a simple mode XML that played Fire BM and Phantom Sim basically optimally. But then again, there was nothing left. The game was still the same old BNS. Once I finished what I came back for, the game felt empty again. Then I was told that Spectral Shrine gave a lot of experience. So I went, and once again I was doing my best to maximize efficiency. I was getting 45 million per hour with manual farms, and even my bot was getting 30 million per hour. Like everyone else in NA, I was promptly banned for 14 days. Well, that was fair, and maybe a good move too, because I could still farm everything manually, and I knew other people won't. So when I was released on October 18, I started farming by hand, and even streamed everything as evidence. Apparently, NC thought that was ban-worthy, and after showing them my VODs, they still believed so. And that's where we are today. Over the past 6 years, I saw so many people came and went. Now, I'm simply one of the goners. I already didn't play from June to September, so if anything, I am more used to not playing now. Everyone quits at some point. The difference is what you left behind. Luckily, I still have my YouTube channel with so much of my fond memories. I want to thank you for your continued support. Without all of your likes and views, I would never be able to keep making these videos. And for those of you who are still playing, I wish you the best of luck. Remember, you are playing the game. Don't let the game play you. I will still be making new videos on my singing channel, Tongue Music, and hope to see you all there. Until then, take care and have fun.